Vietnam has been prolific in its ability to produce rebels that would stand up against foreign invaders. The first of these rebels would be the Trung sisters. It's not easy rising up against the world's most formidable power time and time again, especially when you as a country have so little and they have the greatest army the world has ever seen. But every time Vietnam gets challenged by a foreign invader, there is always someone who will take the call to action and lead their people into the fight for freedom. The Trung sisters arrived on the scene of Vietnam oppression somewhere around the turn of the millennium, when China was in control of the country for so long that they had considered Vietnam one of China's southeastern peninsulas, controlled by the ruthless governor To Dinh. It is believed that if the sisters had not resisted the Chinese when they did, there would be no Vietnamese nation today. The memory of the Trung sisters standing up against oppression from the world's leading superpower would go on to inspire millions of Vietnamese. The country was forever grateful for the sacrifice they made for them, because without them, Vietnam would not exist. Although the sisters took some great strides towards independence, the revolution ultimately failed, but the Vietnamese spirit did not. The Chinese continued to control Vietnam for hundreds of years after the efforts of the Trung sisters. Though there were many attempts at independence, nothing was working. However, the wheels of Vietnamese nationalism had been set in motion. Now all that was needed was someone to lead them to victory. That person would be revolutionary naval strategist Ngo Dinh. His plan was to line the rivers with iron-tipped poles that would be concealed during the high tides. It was then that the Vietnamese would lure the Chinese into their trap. This battle, the Battle of Bac Dang, would be the victory that would finally lift the Vietnamese people out of their 1,000 years of oppression administered by the Chinese, a freedom that would only be challenged for a brief period during an otherwise 1,000 years of peace. The Vietnamese had finally tasted freedom for the first time in millenniums, and it gave them an appreciation for what we as a society take for granted. They had finally earned their freedom, and if someone wanted to take it away from them, they were going to have to wipe them all out to get it.